Hey guys, Mikey's Rotary here. Today, we're gonna be rebuilding the Nikki for that thing. So, I'm gonna try to point out everything that I've learned around these Nikkis over the years, and it is just gonna be good tips and tricks throughout the video as I get to those pieces and stuff. Fuel inlet and fuel return. The bigger, longer one is your inlet. That's your return back to the tank. This adjusts the choke somehow. This will come over and plug into that. Don't know how much it really affects things. This is your float bowl vent. Don't cap this off. Ask me how I know. This is your secondary vacuum diaphragm. So there's a little arm. As you pull vacuum through one of these holes here, it opens up the secondaries. This is a throttle position sensor. It's something for emissions. This is, I think, an altitude sensor. I think this is part of EGR, perhaps. Not sure. Throttle return spring. This is your secondary kind of limp mode. See, if this goes up, it sucks that in. This being down will prevent your secondaries from opening. Pull it up into that like that. That lets your secondaries work. That does not. This is for AC. It pulls the throttle a little bit when the AC solenoid is actuated. This is your throttle slow return. Dampens the throttle down. This can be adjusted if it's holding it open. This one looks to be adjusted right. This is your fuel mixture screw. So your idle fuel mixture screw. A good starting point is turn this all the way in and just barely until it stops. Don't force it in because you'll ruin the needle on the other side. And back it out 3.5 turns. That's a good starting point for tuning. This is your idle screw, how high your idle runs. This is the adjustment for your accelerator pump as the throttle goes up. I don't know what this does. I think it like vents your float bowls when needed or something. You don't have to plug that in. Also, this is a Series 2 carb, so it has the smaller square here for the primaries, and a Series 3 will have little nipples coming up out of this. Pretty much any carb can run on any car or any motor, besides emission stuff. But really, these carburetors, I mean, fuel inlet, fuel return, throttle, and it freaking runs, man. All right. Usually there's a screw there and 2 screws in there. There's only one holding it in right now. These carb rebuild kits, just standard motor products. Rock Auto, they're like 40 bucks. There's your secondaries diaphragm, sucks through that. You can kind of test it by like blowing on yourself. These usually don't need to be replaced or like, yeah, don't pull these off. This doesn't come with a diaphragm for this, so just leave it alone. Usually works. There's also a little spring in here that's usually not on. Like right now it's not on, it's up there. And it has to be behind this for the choke to work. So when the choke goes down, you see how the choke doesn't actuate? This little spring in here pulls this. And that's where like the little vacuums, you know, it kind of releases the choke when there's enough vacuum or something, or when certain things turn on around the emissions and stuff. The kit does come with crush washers for all these little sections. It's nice to have something like this or a piece of wood, because as this sits, all the linkage kind of gets in the way. But on top of something, then it's nice and... What up, Teeny?
Mikey.
Teeny! Dude, for Teeny to call in the middle of a build, this is perfect.
Well, hello, Mikey's Rotary YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. We've got a couple cases of Wix 5151R and 51515 oil filters coming in.
Oh, heck yeah.
But for the dual oil filter setup I have for the turbo rebuild.
Oh.
Yeah, and now I have 2 dual oil filter setups because I got one at the swap meet.
Dude, heck yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
All right. I'll talk to you later, Teeny.
Talk to you later.
Bye. It doesn't hurt to save these little washers. Sometimes the kits come with them. I've seen them not come with them, but these little washers are kind of nice, so we'll set those aside. Yeah, see there's a little spring in there that you hook behind this. The spring is what pulls on that. And what this does, so when you pull the choke, this pushes down on the throttle, actually opens the throttle a little bit so that your RPMs can come up and it can warm up. We'll leave the altitude sensor on it. We're not gonna use it, so I don't care if it gets hurt in the fluid, which that's Teeny's ultrasonic cleaner. He's got special freaking high quality fluid in it. He left it here, so I'm gonna use that for this carb. See, this also has the little washers on them. A lot of times those are missing. To get these out, what I found is finding the thickest Allen wrench that fits through these little holes in the side, and then taking needle nose and twisting off like this. Because these can be extremely tight. The best method to take them out and tighten them in. These washers will be replaced as well. These usually sit on the end of that. And sometimes the holes don't line up right, where you can't get it all the way through. Well, there goes that Allen wrench. There we go. Yeah, man, sometimes they're just like, when the holes don't line up, I've had so much success where the holes where you're able to get an Allen key through and, you know, bust it loose like that. But when, you know, when you can't get it all the way through, that'll be usable. There it is. I might not put them on. Just put an extra fuel filter in the line before the carb. But yeah, see, this is like some kind of floatable vent. Some carbs have the jet up here. I think it's just like a secondary air bleed or something. This will be primary side. This is secondaries. And you have primary jet and secondary jet down there. This is your accelerator pump. There's a ball and weight under this, and there's a ball and weight under this. I don't know if I'll be able to get that out, which sucks. I'd like to clean in there, but I can clean in there once I take this off at least. And you can unscrew this, you know, unscrew these, take this out, because this is like brass, you know, and slide this whole thing out and not put this in the ultrasonic if you have some like more aggressive fluid. Teeny has some really high quality stuff that's safe for all this crap. So I'm gonna leave these on. I'm gonna end up leaving the butterflies on and everything. And definitely take a picture as you take these out and to know where they go, because they all have a specific spot. It's symmetrical though. These are all the same. And if you need help, you can message me, mikeysrotary.com, or I mean, there's my email on there, there's my phone number. I don't normally look at YouTube video comments, but and then, oh, so this is even broken right here. I'll replace it. These, you can kind of, these are just press fitted in. You can kind of wiggle them back and forth. There's that, and the broken piece. Oh, I think the WD-40 did wonders. Yeah, it's all this buildup that was holding it in. Perfect. Perfect. And some of these screws are very special to where they go, and a lot of them are special lengths. You should be able to just use logic and kind of figure out where they go, but these little ones for sure you want to keep with this. These three go with the vacuum diaphragm. I should have kept those with that. This guy. Annoying little C-clip, and I lost it. So, spring just sits in there and pushes against this. So all of that. Oh shoot. So that accelerator pump in there right there has the short fat weight and the little ball. This one has a long skinny weight and a ball. They're usually pretty nasty on here, and I'll take a wire wheel. Jeez, look at that. I even get a socket on that. 12 mils. These are your access points to the main jets. These also have little brass washers that are replaced in the kit. Now, I have a special screwdriver. I mean, this thing was just the right size, and I ground down the edges just enough so that it fits through this hole and is wide enough to reach both sides of the little jet walls. These also have washers on them. I almost forgot those before. Those come in the kits as well. The secondaries have a much bigger hole for the main jets. You'll be able to tell. There's that all down bare. Yeah, I'm gonna leave like all of this stuff on. The only thing you could hurt with like more aggressive fluid is the flaps and I guess some of this linkage, but with the flaps, when you do put them back in, they are beveled in a way, and it takes some serious patience getting them out, some serious patience getting them in right. When this closes, that the bevel, when it closes, hits flush with the barrel wall. Make sure they're flipped the right way, and as you put them back, wiggle, wiggle, check, wiggle, wiggle, check before you lock them down, so that they're flush as possible with the barrel walls. If you take them out, I'm not gonna take them out because he has some freaking high quality fluid in his ultrasonic. These washers can come off. And I'm actually not gonna run the needles in the ultrasonic because the rubber tips. These can go with all of the jets. One more primary. I'm gonna have to pull one from another carb. There we go. Definitely want to clean these. All right, I'm gonna fill this with a little bit of fluid, set it in there. Fill this with fluid, set it in there. We'll set these in there. It's kind of loud, so I'm just gonna let this run, and then we'll come back and we'll build it. So, I got everything in the ultrasonic, heated up, ran through, blew out with brake clean, and look who decided to show up.
Hey guys. Teeny's Garage, Coconut Motorsports. Here and ready for action. So let's get this carburetor together.
Yay. Do I look funny?
I don't know. You're a funny guy. Funny looking.
I do not recommend using these. I've heard time and time again, use the old needles and seats. You can use a washer out of it though.
Look at that difference.
Good job, Teeny.
Yeah.
I need 2 more. This carb only came with 2.
Oh boy, carburetor on the out back.
There's 2 carburetors on the shelf where all the intakes and stuff are. So the difference in some of these smaller air bleeds, so this is a main jet. It's a little longer, a little bit of a skinnier neck, and the big holes are secondaries. Secondaries, primaries. And there's washers for these. I believe it's these. Yep, they should fit almost perfectly. Nice, good. Make sure it's tight. These round, thick gaskets, they shove in there pretty well, typically. And these gaskets are always too big.
Always.
So I always clip them down. And this I found to be the perfect little clipper. Probably use fingernail clippers, really. Voila, sight glass is all clean. Nikki. These also have washers.
You got 2 there?
I got 4 here.
I'm saying you have two of the bolts. Or...
No, I have 4. Just kidding, I have 1 bolt. I only have 1 bolt.
Here's another one.
Yay.
Always compare your old to the new and make sure you're using the right size.
Absolutely. Rubber.
I hardly know her. These 2?
Nope, this.
Oh, you're just lost.
I'm lost in the sauce, dog.
And her name was Nikki.
Hey, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. Oh, shoot. They used the same measurements.
Yep, they took a ball jar and said, yep, that's a rotor bearing.
That's right. Rotor bearings are based on mason jar lids.
Wouldn't you know? One little trick you can do with these accelerator pumps, and you can make a gasket that's the same size and stack them thicker to increase the volume of your pump. You also have to do a spring modification, but you get larger. Yep, what he said.
Give you the more teeny.
At some point, I'd like to make some proper phenolic spacers for those.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
To make a large accelerator pump chamber with a longer rod and everything. Be able to have a Nikki that can rip.
Yep, that'd be awesome.
It'll be like a Holly double pumper in a single accelerator pump.
But because this motor is stock, everything is staying stock.
Yep. Wink, wink. Stock.
Gotta make sure that lines up with this. And your oil metering pump inlet is on the same side as the adjustment screw. Them bolts, oh, I found them. I'm gonna tighten these like you're torquing lug nuts. We don't want this thing to be sucked down crooked. Where's my 10 mil?
It's to your left. All the way left.
Oh, nice good ump on all these. I'm gonna stick all of the hardware in this one. So this one goes in after the rod goes through. This one goes in before the rod goes through. C-clip. Tina, I can't do it.
Can't do it?
I might have lost it.
What'd you do?
Tina, where'd the C-clip go?
Oh boy. Did you check your pocket?
Oh no, all right, pal. I lost the other one too when I was taking it off.
Oh, so this is a replacement already?
Yep. Light. Where's my light?
It's right in front of you. It's under your gloves.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Yes, you did.
It's gone forever. Oh, I found one.
Oh,
You freaking kidding me?
I heard it. Probably.
Yeah, bounce, bounce, ground. Oh, you found it? Oh my goodness, dude. That's insane. Dude, this isn't made for this. It's not made for this. Does it stay on?
As soon as the pliers off, it shot off with the pliers.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's what it did to me. Oh, there's a rusty one on this. These are just press-in, so it doesn't hurt to lube them a little bit.
These jigs are going to be a 70.
Neat. Series 2.
Which is 0.7 millimeters. Which I have a 0.8 millimeter drill, but if you need it larger.
Let's go a little faster.
Do those have any crush washer?
No.
Okay.
I have pictures too where they go, but look at the diagram.
Thanks to fox.ca.
FOXED.ca. Every carb I've built so far, I mean, and that's how my picture is the silvers are up at the secondaries. Check ball goes into this big fat hole in the middle of the primaries, and the fat weight.
Don't drop it down the runners. Haven't learned that one from experience yet, but just I'd recommend avoiding that.
Do you want to go find a base plate?
Oh yeah, of course.
And an intake manifold.
Yep.
The difference in these two, typically you'll get one of each. This is 7980. It doesn't have the circles there. This is 8185. It does have the circles. Boom, boom, circles. And it's lined up right. This curve comes down from my left. This one, it needs to go to the left. But it goes on this first. Freaking chickens.
There's a chicken laying.
Get out of my shop, chickies!
The chicken was laying on the brake clean.
Ooh.
Freshly hatched.
Oil somewhere. I have 2-stroke. Put a little bit of 2-stroke oil, motor oil. I mean, people do Vaseline. Get them nice and lubed up. They don't stick.
First time this thing gets fuel flowing in, it's going to wash it out, but it's also going to keep it from sticking, help it seat.
So now the gasket can go on this, lined up with that, using the right gasket with the holes. And you want this little flap to go under this little hook that the needle has. Now we will spec out the float heights. They do give you this little thing to check it with, to check, you know, but I'd rather use this. So hanging this way. So hanging upside down, the end of the float should be 16 millimeters. That's with the gasket on it. Hanging down, bottom of the float, or the very end of the float to the gasket should be 51. 16, 51. From the end of the float down, 18. We want it at 16. So we're gonna bend this little tab a little bit. 16, perfect. Plus or minus half, that's plenty. 16 and a half. Hanging this way, we want 51 to the very bottom. Bam, 51. Bam, yep, 51, perfect. Got the jets in there, all of these jets are in. Sometimes these air bleeds are here, sometimes they're not. I think it's Series 3 has them, Series 1 and 2 don't, something like that. Like Series 2 has like that, Series 1 doesn't have any, I'm not sure, something like that. I think this carb is missing a whole bunch of bolts.
That holds it together?
Yeah, all of these.
Oh. Where was this carb from? Your shelf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the solvent tank works, but there's some real caked on stuff on there. Is the ultrasonic still fluid in it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is like greatly improved, but like still has plenty of stuff to clean in like the small spots. While you do that, I'm going to go ahead and clean off this surface.
When putting this together, this needs to be on top. Otherwise, you gotta pull this whole thing apart. And this needs to be up there. 2 bolts here, and then 1 on the outside. Make sure this is up. Oh, and this goes on with this. This sits on that. It's the dash bot to damper the throttle coming up. You know what I didn't do? Ah! And this, that little spring in there needs to go forward and grab onto this, because when the choke is pulled, whoop, this is only actuated by the spring in this. This goes over this. I'm gonna reuse these little washers and the new cotter pins they give us. This little spring is for the hot start assist. It just goes on to that. This right here. Boop. Boom, 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 boom. This is your secondary shut-off thingy. This is down here. Your secondaries will not open. This also has to be connected. This little lever here. So as vacuum is pulled, it'll open the secondaries. Once your throttle is past a certain point.
I won.
You won. Oh my goodness.
Wasn't gonna let this thing stop me.
Heck no, get rid of that thing. This is for your oil metering pump. Linkage comes up, boop. So what I like to do is opening in there, and there is a point right there where you kind of push past. That's where it allows secondaries to open. Light pressure on this for the secondaries. Pushing the throttle open, I can see the flaps opening. When I push it past that point, it's easy to open the secondaries. So I know the secondaries is linked up right. Float bowl vent, do not plug. Bam, perfect fit. And make sure it is a really good snug fit. That's exactly what it should look like. All 4 of these are the same, so these are probably the banjo bolts. For how sticky this is, I'm gonna lube it up a little bit to really give it a good chance of torquing down. Woohoo! That is beautiful.
This is the bare minimum that you should be doing. If you're not doing this quality, you're gonna have a leak.
And that is the basics of a carburetor build. We'll stick this thing on the base plate and on the intake, suck it all down so you can see that as well. But that's everything complete. Like I said, these carburetors really fuel in, fuel out, throttle cable, single freaking run. This is choke, throttle cable. This is your cruise control, and this is the hot start assist that pulls on this, that little spring that we put in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is to adjust your accelerator pump. So right when you push the throttle, it should be idle speed screw. This is your idle mixture screw, fuel mixture screw. And when you first start to put fuel into this, check the sight glasses. It should be about halfway up if they're adjusted right. So the sight glass in there. When you get it in the car, check those. Make sure there's no fuel dumping in here. Make sure this is uncapped. Fuel inlet. This is fuel return to the tank. Throttle return spring. This is your secondaries. This allows your secondaries to open. They got to be up here, but it's really easy for these to suck back in like that. Your dash pot, throttle dampener. This is for your AC. It sucks up the throttle a little bit when your AC solenoid kicks in. You need this spring in here. I usually take a really tiny screwdriver, stick it in there, grab the spring, shove it around the choke lever. Now when we pull our choke, the spring in here tells that how far to go. You know, when you have all your emissions set up and stuff, it'll let out the choke if it doesn't need all of it. So even though this is pulled all the way, the choke can still go back based on the spring. So this base plate, there's like already kind of a gasket here. Don't try to scrape this off. It won't happen. You can put another gasket on top of it. I normally do. These gaskets sometimes block off some of these holes. If you're running some vacuums off this, like normally you would have your vacuum advance. If you're running anything off this, you need to make sure some of these holes aren't blocked because they suck in different passages and different ways through the system. An easy way to tell which hole is which, put air to it, you can kind of feel, or put brake clean and then air and you can see it squirt out. Yeah, it's going out of that one. These two holes.
It's these ones here.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's this one. Yeah, so that hole and that hole. Anyways, some of these block some of those holes.
This is why I just use the integrated gasket.
Yeah, Teeny just uses this hard, freaking rock hard 50-year-old.
It's a glued on gasket from Mazda. It worked then, and it works now. Adding gaskets gives room for more vacuum leaks potentially. That being said, if your current plate has any damage to it, that can also be a vacuum leak.
Get the carbonator on there, Teeny.
All right, these are set to 200 foot-pounds of torque.
There it is. Whole freaking carb build, fresh carb build. Make sure you plug all these off unless you use them.
And everything on the backside as well for emissions. Air pump goes in and has an outlet here that goes to the fresh air pipe in your exhaust. Block this tube off. Leave this one here. This one's your brake booster. So unless you're doing manual brakes, you're gonna want your brake booster vacuum formed.
You don't need to block this off.
You don't need to block this off. This just feeds...
or the air pump one.
Or the air pump one.
Yeah, we definitely need to block these. This is that rear flap.
Coasting valve stuff, weird emissions. We don't want failure points, and that's a failure point. If that flap gets stuck closed, you end up leaning the primary circuit on the rear rotor.
Yep, don't want to run lean. Normally you have a sub-zero start assist here. Looks like someone blocked it off. Hooray.
Yay.
We'll get this on a car next time, and we'll see it run. Yay!
Yep.
To God be the glory, my friends.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, I just want to give a big shout out to, can you guess? Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Jesus of the Bible, for dying for me, for paying the price for all of my transgressions against God. It is by God's grace that I get to do this and keep my family afloat doing this and spread the gospel while I'm at it. So huge shout out to him. But I do want to thank everyone that I've come across with all these cars, all the cool people up in Canada, New Zealand, Australia, everyone here in the States. Everyone's been super cool. I've really found a lot of cool people. I've come across a lot of cool Christians. That's like the coolest thing ever to find fellow believers, you know, doing the things that you like to do too, glorifying God in it all. To God be the glory for it all, my friends.